What's up, AP Stats? Good to see y'all. We are in seventh period right now, looking at a homework problem number 55. It's a good one for the AP test coming up on Tuesday, but check it out. We're going to go over it in a second. Got something, Cap?
You did it right here.
I don't understand this formula. Why are we doing this? Oh, 295 minus 298. Let me keep going over standard deviation. Our new standard deviation is this formula. What's the standard deviation? Simple.
The O thing.
Not that. What was that? Oh.
So he was trying to do with the marker in his hand.
No, I was trying to hold the marker. Okay. So what is the first standard deviation? 3 divided by square root of 6.
I think we need
Right?
to find a new
Yeah.
standard deviation.
That is a new standard deviation. 3 over squared c.
That would throw that off just a little bit, but your whole process here is good. Make sure you draw the distribution.
So what? That's 3.
Make sure you draw that.
So it's
That way you
3
got
over
it.
3, so it's square root of 6.
I don't think that's right because the z.
Yeah,
No,
well,
it's
this
negative.
Negative 4.
Negative square root of 6. But I'm just going to do it to make sure we got it.
This one would be 55. This one would be normal.
Why is this negative?
Wait. Negative 3 divided by that.
Right, so
The
remember,
answer's negative 2
binary,
over 9.
it has to be binary.
And
So the
the answer, what's
probability
the
that
answer?
contents of 6 randomly selected bottles are less than 295.
Where's negative?
Oh, what's our success percentage?
Some negatives?
Like when you do bins, right? It actually is binary, right? It is less than or not. It is independent. It has a set number of trials. I don't think it has a success percentage. You know what I'm saying? So
71. Oh,
From
71.
the-
So that
from
means
part A.
0.71%.
0.0071.
I wonder if you could use.
That's not 71%.
0.71%.
I thought you said 71.
I have to actually look into it myself. I
Yeah.
think this would be a normal,
He's like,
normal.
because okay, great answer.
That is the same, because it's 6,
Oh boy.
it's a sampling
Alright.
distribution.
No, because we had all of
So
these.
it's 0.71% of the bottles.
Right, so mu X bar equals mu, standard deviation, or standard deviation of X bar equals sigma over square root of n, and then you can go at it that way.
Or less than 295.
It would actually be the exact same, the only difference is the
No,
standard deviation.
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh,
Okay. He said we chose.
Oh,
Correct, because it is,
Wait,
Oh, we
maybe-
have to shade.
okay. Oh, yeah.
right, it
How do
should
we
be
shade this
lower,
one?
right?
You do 95 below?
Standard deviation would be
You do
lower.
Less than
normal
295. You shade that.
You also have to put the mean in the middle. So we 298.
298 is the mean? Oh, no, I
Yeah,
messed up
and
really
then you
bad.
also add
I
295.
really messed up.
What do you mean you messed up?
I-
And then you should
I
everything.
will
Oh, I
say
didn't.
this, Catherine,
Whatever.
Tony, Chloe, and Brianna, there's one thing we have not gone over that you're missing. That you have to show.
And we need
But overall, it's pretty good.
We need
We've
295.
talked about it, but we didn't do it in the previous one. So you didn't think over it. You might want to look at your formula sheet, but you're all over it.
Should we look at ours?
Senor,
Maybe.
necesito ayuda, por favor.
Maybe.
Should we look at ours? Please.
No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You said it.
We got it.
Michael's.
I'm sorry about that, man. I'll put on it.
Swear if you don't have ours.
Well, we haven't done.
He's so bad.
So
He's putting a lot of pressure on us.
it's like to figure out.
Thank you. Do you like my mess up right there? I made a mistake.
I do like the mess up. That's
So
good.
do we win?
So we would have to.
There's one thing y'all are still missing.
That's not right.
There's one thing y'all are still missing. Though all of you are doing a great job. The answers are right. Actually, the work shown is probably the best I've seen.
Thank you.
There's one thing we're missing. I'll give you like a 1 minute,
Like the snooze
1
is-
minute warning.
Because
Alex, I'm coming. Let me just
snooze
hit this. Let me check this out.
Oh.
Oh, you're good.
Have you ever like
Wait,
woken up like right before your alarm goes off?
Yes.
And you're like, oh, you're
It's
about to look at your,
horrible.
you're about to look at your phone and be like,
And
and
then-
I might have some more sleep.
No.
And then the alarm goes off.
I hate like pressing snooze and then I can't put my sleep and all I can think about is
Still
that I
one
have
thing you're
7 minutes.
Wait, Coach J.
I think it's 7 or 10.
And when your mom walks in.
Not quite. You're on the right track.
Coach
You're
J,
on the
what-
right track.
Answer number 50.
Hey, do this. I'm gonna
Wait,
reveal it.
walk around.
Hey, if you got it,
But
if you got, I won't do it right this second. If
But
you
that's-
got it though,
that's for this.
give yourself that credit because I know a lot of you are trying to go through it. I'm gonna go through it and you just we'll do Scout's honor, okay? Scout's honor on that. Cool. Hey, if you're feeling really good, here's what I'll do. Those that are finishing up, we'll stop there. Could I do 51 homework real quick? This is not a tough one, but we haven't mentioned it, so let's just do it quickly, okay? So real quick, on your homework, put like 51.
Is that right?
It says how many songs would need to be sampled, would need to sample if you wanted the standard deviation
That is right.
of the sampling distribution to be 30 seconds. All right, let's real quick, okay? Real quick. How many songs would you need to sample if you wanted the standard deviation of the sampling distribution of X bar? What would be the notation of this right here?
Hold on.
It'd be sigma x
Good, sigma of X bar, okay?
Mhm.
We want that to equal what?
30.
30, yep, okay? And we need, though, in order to plug that into the formula, we have sigma of X bar is equal to the true population sigma over square root of n, right? So the problem is, though, we have two variables, right? I think, Jacqueline, on that previous one, because it relates back to the previous question, on 49, I think, what was the sigma or the standard deviation that they gave us on that
60.
60? So 60 would be plugged in for what?
Sigma.
Sigma. You got me? So what would we, I can talk. What we would have is 30 equals 60 over square root of n.
Solve.
So how could I then solve for square root of n?
Divide everything.
Basic algebra to get n by itself. You all got that? I just wanted you to see that one. I think there's one on the test like that I wanted you to at least see from there. Okay?
What?
N equals 4.
Hold on.
It's over 7.1 to 2.73. It is over all that stuff too.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Are you podcasting Monday or Tuesday? I mean Saturday.
I'll do Monday night. Is that cool? We'll do that. All right, let's go through it. Number 55. Hey, check with your partner and see if you did this appropriately. Part A. A lot of you did this. You went here. A lot of you put a good notation here, which I like. 298, comma 3. This is not a sampling distribution because why, Jacqueline? Why is this not a sampling distribution?
Because it says A randomly selected model.
Good, it's not a sample to sample, it's just one. So we've got 298 here. Some of you then went into 295 and you highlighted the less than. And it really made my heart jump with joy when you then went to normal CDF. And what should I put? LU.
No.
Lower.
Me.
There's no credit.
No, you're
I
right.
can't be lazy.
No. My God.
Lower,
Upper.
upper. And you could put mean and standard deviation. That's appropriate. Okay? Then I'm going to plug this in. Normal CDF. And then we can do negative 99999 or 666 if you're into that. And then 295,
It's a little weird.
298,
It's a little dark.
comma 3. That was appropriate. We need to pray. We need to pray. And when I do that, we are approximately what? Is it 1 point?
1.58. Wait.
1.58?
15.
Oh, 0.158. Gotcha. 0.158 is the proportion. Cool? Or 15.8%. If you're good, say uh-huh. Technically, I would then put if I was you, guys, stay up here, make sure we're here. I would say 15.8% is the probability that a randomly selected bottle contains less than 295. Right? Y'all good with that? Make sure you put that little statement at the end. A lot of you did a great job of that. All right, here we go. Part B. We know that the mean of X bar is equal to mu, which is equal to 298. Okay, that's good. Okay, show that work. Sigma of X bar is equal to sigma over square root of n. What do I put in?
30
3 over square root of 6, which gives me approximately 1.2. There's a problem with this, though. What do I need to show? Great job. Good, Catherine. So n is less than or equal to 1/10 of big N. What is little n? 6 is less than or equal to 1/10 of
A lot.
a lot. Yes, this is true. All
Bottles.
Bottles.
Cola.
all bottles of. I'm a Sprite guy, so I'm gonna say Sprite.
Really?
Okay? Yeah,
I could go for
it's good stuff. Okay, so that's what we would put here, and we would say that this does satisfy it. Therefore, we can use this. Next part, obviously, we then go into our normal distribution, right? I would redraw this. I don't have much room. Is it cool if I use this up here? What would be the only part that's different?
Standard deviation.
Yes, the only part that would be different would be this, which would be less than 3, which would be 1.2. And when I plug all of the values in, it just would be different. This would be different here. What would I get for my new area down below? 0.006. Some of you got 0.007. That's fine. It's fine. But that would be what our area would be. The problem is you forgot something.
I did the central limit
Do we have to explain spread?
8 tickets if you know.
Let's go to 10.
Oh,
sorry, that was aggressive.
There. Oh, context is good. I'm actually going to give you 4 because that's right. That's not what I was thinking.
Central
That's
limit.
true.
Just start listing out.
They not? Yeah, CLT, central limit theorem. That's a good thought, Brianna. Not quite though.
Is it the law of large numbers?
No, because that's like p hat world, right? But that's a good thought. Jaden, what's up?
I don't know if she meant this by saying context, but you have to say that, like, you can find this because a 10% condition is met.
Well, that helps me with this, right? So you could technically,
We could show
but the fact that it's right next to it, I'm good. You don't have to actually say anything. Just put them right next and you're okay. All right? Tony.
Is it 5% like statistic significance?
If we had a question about statistically significant, you could say. That's actually a really good thought. And this would be statistically significant, right? But that's not what I'm saying on this because the question wasn't related to that. Michael?
It said it was normal, so we don't have to do any of the normal, practice the normal stuff.
No, but you have to say it.
Oh, we do have to say it.
Yes. So what would I say in order to use a normal distribution down here?
You have to.
You find the equation.
Brianna, go ahead.
You have to say that if the population distribution is normal, then the
You're my
sampling
favorite.
distribution will also
You see
be.
how many?
Yes. Did you hear that? You've got to make a statement that if since the population distribution is normal, then we can estimate the sampling distribution as normal. Namaste. Great job, y'all. That was perfect. Okay? Perfect. All right, question for you. Did that help?
Yes.
Did that help with how we applied this? Right? How we applied this? Where are you confused at, Lindsay?
I'm just gonna spell
On
it forever.
B, like when I read it, I didn't think of going to standard deviation. I don't know, like, what?
Question: did you think of it as a sampling distribution? Because there were 6 of them, right, that I'm randomly selecting. And then I'm saying, what is the probability that it's less than 295? The difference between A and B has to do with that 6 randomly selected, right? So when I think sampling distribution, I know it's mean world because we're talking about average amount that's being filled. I automatically go to my formulas that are down here. Does that make sense from yesterday? Did I not answer your question?
I mean, you are. I just I think it's fun. Like,
What are you not getting? Maybe I'm.
I don't know. I'm just really question has like not understanding like why you're going
In that direction.
I can see it.
Okay, now I feel bad.
So going back to it, I know I'm re-asking it. You understand that it is a sampling distribution, right?
Me too.
You're good. You think so?
Yeah.
So
I
we
don't know if that's the one I'm not getting.
we randomly select 6, right? It's kind of like yesterday. We randomly selected 5 pennies or 3 pennies, right? And then we took the average amount that's there. The fact that we took 6 randomly selected values and brought it into 1, that's a sampling distribution. You follow me? So since it's a sampling distribution, I know that I'm going to use mu of x bar because it's means, right? And sigma of x bars. And then we're just simply plugging it into our formula, right? we've got to show that it's actually approximately normal by either the fact that the population is normal or the fact that it is CLT, like we can use the central limit theorem, right? That makes sense? Since the population distribution is normal, we can come up here, right? And we can go ahead and use our normal distribution. I would redraw it probably down below, but I didn't have room. But I would do another normal distribution with the new mean, which is the same.
So you just found that so that you could accurately do the
Which one's yours?
Correct. Yes. Yes. Notice the yellow? That's the only difference from where I selected one compared to when I have a sampling distribution.
Yeah.
Go in.
I'm sorry, I probably wrote that weird.
No, it's fine. Okay.
Aren't you asking?
Cool. All right. Any questions?
Some jumping.
All right. What is our time like, Coach? What we got?
Tres minutos para saber.
I have 3 minutes. Do I really?
Ah!
I'm gonna cuss. No, I'm not gonna cuss.
Do it.
No.
Dr. Hill.
Jaden might, but not.
I didn't even hear it.
The center.
All right. Hey, really quick. I will tell you the gist of this. Okay. The gist of this. Actually, let's go to. I'm really, to be honest, I'm not stressed. This activity, I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna put it on hold. I'm not even gonna touch it. Here's what you need to know. Remember I really liked the penny activity yesterday. I thought it was an eye opener. Remember the idea of this whole idea being skewed right here when you put the pennies here? That was population. But then once we did the sampling distribution up on the board, what happened?
It was approximately normal.
It was approximately normal. When we approximate a sampling distribution as normal, the first condition is what? If the population distribution is normal, then the sampling distribution is normal. That's step one. If it is not normal, like the penny activity up here, then what we would do is do the central limit theorem, which states that n is greater, if our sample size is greater than or equal to 30, then we can approximate this as normal. Okay? If you get that, that is 7.3 day 2. We did it yesterday, but we did it more not in a note format. I more experienced it. I felt pretty good about that from yesterday. The big thing is just know how to apply it, okay? If you are trying to wonder, like, do I get this? The check your understanding 7.3 day 2 is very important, okay? Check that out, all right? Check it out. Now, question. As you're writing this down, is n equal 30 a magical number? Have we talked about this?
Yes.
And what did I say?
Yes.
Buffalo Wild Wings, was that y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beat
Beat 3
3
Dubs. Can't count, right? We should do that for lunch on Friday. No, I'm sorry. It's n equal 30, which is our sample size. If our sample size is greater than 30, that is just a large number. Whoever created that said 30 is large enough, which approximates as normal. So if we have a sample size of 3, right? Sample size of 3, then that's not large enough to be able to say that it's approximately normal. Okay? All right? How do y'all feel on this? If I skip this note lesson, I felt like what we did today is better than what we were gonna do. Okay? Any thoughts here? Better? Nicely done. Monday, let me give you a heads up on Monday. We're gonna practice multiple choice on Monday, okay? And then we're gonna probably do one FRQ to kind of get that extra reps in on Monday. Make sure that 7.3 is done by Sunday at midnight. Okay, that's the big kicker. All right.
No, I did not take it.
Not too bad. We already did 2 of them today.
Jaden, are you here?
There's 12 questions.
You too.
Jackie, I hope that helped with what you were
Thank you.
looking at.
And how are you? Look, that's what people do. You already asked me.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
We definitely did.
Not just
you.
you, but like it's like everyone.
I had this too.
When is the cutoff?
It's one of my
we're trying to
favorites.
get it done right now.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday
Yesterday was good. Yeah.
Mine's at my car. I don't know if it's my air conditioning. It's okay. But the bad thing is sometimes I'll pull it off and then it'll come on.
Oh, that's the worst. When it comes out of the air conditioning thing and you try to do it.
Whoa, I guess
I
I
love
will
them.
agree. I'm not gonna say that.
First day.
Stop. Wait, you're not making fun of me.
Yeah, those were actually there from last week.
No, I was waiting.
Oh yeah,
I was
and
doing
spa.
that.
You were definitely going like
Like
this.
spa.
No, I
Or
wasn't.
like the homework.
I
Like
was doing-
right there. Cause like when we use those Z-scores, like when I look at X bar, I think of me. But like if it's not given to us, I don't understand X bar. Like I think.
Let me see. I think
understand
I've
that
got
it's
the homework.
sample.
That's. I don't have it. I don't have it there. X bar is the sample, right?
So it's never the mean. Like when we use the sampling distribution.
That I see what you're saying. I think this is what you're telling me, right? When we refer to a normal distribution, okay, of a sampling distribution, right? The mean is mu of x bar, comma, standard deviation of x bar, right? Okay? The mu is here. Why? Because this equals mu, right? But when I say, what is x bar? So I take 6 cokes, right? The average, what I'll say, hey, what is the average? I think this was 270. And I say, what is the average? What is the probability that the average of these would be 267 or less, right? This right here, 267, is x bar.
Okay. So
It's
like
the
the
average
sample.
of that sample.
Okay.
So you say, well, that's weird because you normally think mean goes here. But remember, this is of the population. This is of the sample.
Okay.
So my x bar goes, this is 270, would go to the left of my true mu. And this would be x bar is equal to 267. And then that's where I highlight it.
Is the test over only 7.3 or is it over everything?
It's over 7, 1, and 2 as well.
Okay.
Okay? If you did the review, not to say that that's everything, but that was a good kind of review. Remember the notes we took over there as well? That would be really good to kind of go over and do. My game plan is to review that all Monday. So we're going to start just reviewing everything from 7-1 to 7-3 come Monday.
Okay.
Okay? Cool. You're welcome. What's up, David?
What up, Coach Jay? Man, I did something to my back this morning.
You did?
Like, I was walking up the stairs. I had like a basket of clothes.
Yeah?
But, like, it wasn't heavy, and I know I picked it up right. And next thing you know, like, my back is, like, dying.
Oh, that's awful.
Like, it's hurt all day.
I'm sorry about that.
I just found out I made it to the honors program at Georgia Southern.
You did?
Yeah.
That's the deal, Devin. That's sweet. That is like a huge, huge deal. You're ready, aren't you? Now it's like,
Johnson leads
I'm
every
I'm
day.
gonna go.
Here.
Chris Johnson left this.
Was that Chris?
Are you going to serve something?
Yeah, that's a
What do
big
you
deal
mean?
on that one.
Biology.
Hey, David, what are you gonna do about it? You go to chiropractor?
I don't know. It just happened today, and my dad's back was, like, just jacked up, like, really, like, last week. So, I'll probably go to the chiropractor. Hopefully it's just, like, one of those tweaks where, you know, like, it happens for a day and it's done, but, like, it hurts to sit down. Bend over, like, really.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna die soon.
I was listening to my back.
So like, I judge it based on myself. It's like really bad.
One time that happened to me.
No, I don't.
And, like, I was like rock climbing and like I like jumped for thing, like something popped on my back. I had like popped like something was like out of line, like my spine was like out of line. Like the next day, like it was so bad, like I couldn't like bend over it and walk. I had to go to a chiropractor.